Now we know. So our first presentation tonight is going to be by Christina. Christina, are you ready? Sounds like you are.
I am very ready.
Good stuff. Well, folks, I will give you over to the excellent Christina Barbonio to talk about all sorts of technology things that can help your club and your Toastmasters journey. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you, Graeme. Good evening, everyone. That's an amazing introduction. I don't know if that really suits me, but I will gladly accept them. Good evening. My presentation is about all sorts of technology, not very detailed, but I will introduce you to them and perhaps entice you on looking at them, checking them out. Maybe it is something that you can use in your personal lives, in your Toastmaster club, or in your professional life. I shall share my screen. If you let me know if you can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Can.
Yeah, all right. Okay. I'm just trying to resizing my window so I can see you guys. All right. So, oops. Toastmaster tech. So I was asked to present something about tech. It took me a while to come up what do I need to present because it's just so broad. And then finally, the team has encouraged me to just say something, with the technology. So this Toastmaster tech is for Toastmaster by Toastmaster. So what I mean by that is for everyone, really. So our topic for today is Zoom cool tips and tricks. Not how to use Zoom. I would presume that you guys already know how to use Zoom, okay? So this is just a little nitty-gritty. Few of these things that you can use in Zoom. You may or may not know them, or you may have already used them in the past. So we'll see. And I would introduce you to some apps for polling or survey. We've seen a lot of those in the past. And for managing tasks or team. So if you're managing, if you have a project that you want to keep track, these are the apps that I will be talking about. Or if you just manage your own tasks, either way. All right, let's start on Zoom tips and tricks, some cool tips. All right, so you already know how to use Zoom. You've been using it for more than, 2 years? So what are a few tricks that you can add into your learning on how to use Zoom? Okay. However, before we proceed, very important. Make sure to always update your Zoom app or your client. All right, make sure because Zoom always releases, they regularly releases a new update and security fixes on their Zoom. So make sure you always update your Zoom app. For the phone, if you're using smartphone, it is almost automatically. So Google will, or if you set them up, it will automatically update your app. Same with iOS if you're using an iPhone. But for your desktop, if in your computer, it's not automatic. So you need to check that out. This is the other thing that people forget. Always log in to your Zoom account. If you don't have a Zoom account, sign up. It's free. You don't need to pay. You don't need to subscribe. You don't need to pay anything to log in, to create an account in Zoom. Okay, so make sure you log in. So why would you need to log in? Because all the settings will be saved if you log in. If you're not logged into your Zoom account in your app, every time you log in, you have to reset all the settings that you've already done. So for example, the backgrounds, those nice backgrounds that you see at the back. If I not log in, the next time I use Zoom again on my computer, that's gone. So just make sure you log in. And I think a lot of people is forgetting this. Have a play. What does it mean? Practice using Zoom. Play around. What you do is you can have the Zoom in your computer, and then another one in your smartphone, and another one in your kid's tablet. Install Zoom and have a play. Just practice. Make fun of it. All right. Now, good. Now moving on. So a few tricks. Be aware of different Zoom video views. So this is where we see the gallery views. So you should see this at the very top right corner where you can see the speaker view or the gallery view. So if you're already in the gallery view, that means you see everyone that is logged in. So at the moment I am the gallery view, I can see you guys. Or if someone is presenting, you can have the active speaker view. These are not the only views. There are other views, of course, but this is still more important. Just be aware that you can swap between the gallery view and the active speaker view. All right, side-by-side screen sharing. Now you guys can have a play with this. Since I'm sharing, you can have a play with this. So you can see my presentation on the side, but you don't see the people, or well, you see the people at the top. Let's have a play with it. At the view options, click side-by-side mode. Yeah, can you see it? And then you should see in the middle, there's like teeny tiny grid that you can hover, you can move around. So what it does, you can see your colleagues, the people here online on a big side view and the presentation on the other side. Did you guys have a go? You can make the presentation smaller so that the people that you can see is bigger. You can see the faces, the beautiful faces of the audience, or you can make the presentation a lot bigger. Did that work for you guys? Yeah, so that's one of, I use it a lot when someone is presenting and I want to see the people's reaction, or even the presenter, because sometimes the presenter is just a teeny tiny rectangle, but I want to see the full face. So I hope you find it useful. Ooh, sharing sound. I do this a lot. If one of you have attended in one of the sessions that I was the Zoom master, you will notice that I share music a lot. And this is my favorite. So what it does, if you play music on your computer, why not share the love? So what you do is click that share screen at the bottom of your screen, provided you have a share permission, if you're a co-host or a host. And then you can, before that, when you're presenting something and your presentation has a sound effect, when you share, you can click that, you can tick that share sound at the bottom. I don't know if you guys, because it's teeny tiny, a lot of people miss this a lot. So what it does is if you're using a PowerPoint presentation and it has a sound like those clapping sound or those hooray sound, I'm pretty sure you've seen those in our district contest where people playing sounds while doing presentation. That's what it is. So you share something on your screen and at the same time share the sound. Now, if you only want to share the computer sound, you click the advanced and then just click computer sound. So that will play sounds in your computer. So bear in mind, that means everything that you play in computer. So make sure you just play something that's appropriate for your audience. Okay? So every clicking and tick-tock, they will hear it. If someone is ringing you, they will hear it because it's the computer sound. So make sure if you shared it, there's no others happening inside your computer, okay? There's nothing running other than the music. Okay, just be very careful you're not sharing something that you did not intend to share. All right? And have fun with it. Share some pop music or 80s rock. All right, whiteboards. This one, I haven't really played around with this one whiteboard, but today I did try it out. And I find it really quite straightforward. So what it is, so whiteboard is, so imagine the real whiteboard where people can write on it, someone presenting, but here it's digitally using the computer. So you open a whiteboard. So before you do the whiteboard, make sure you allow this in these settings. So what is this? Is you log into Zoom in the web portal, zoom.us, and go to the settings and make sure you tick these options, the annotation and the whiteboard classic. So it will allow you, when you open a meeting, that will allow you to have a whiteboard. All right. Once you sort that out, remember at the beginning, I told you, remember to log in. That's one of the use of that. So when you have the setup ready, so when you start the meeting, you will have an option like this. Yeah, you have that whiteboard options. And then it will come up with something like this. Now, you can allow the participants to access the whiteboard after the meeting, or maybe not. Or you can allow the participant also to edit your whiteboard. So what it means is everyone can enter the whiteboard. Enter anything, have a draw. Or if you want, you just want to see them, whatever you're doing on the whiteboard. You don't want your participant or your audience to write something on your whiteboard. This is something that I find really cool. You can have multiple whiteboards. You can save your past whiteboards, or you can create a new one. Obviously, I don't have any save whiteboard. That's why it's empty. But what it does is if you have a previous whiteboard, you can see it there. And then you can open it and present it again, and people can start collaborating. Have you used anyone use whiteboard before? I know Kevin has.
Yes, yeah, we use it in the tutoring group.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So digital whiteboard. And this one is the basic tools that you can see. That you can see with the whiteboards. The commonly, the text file, the draw. So if you use Microsoft Paint or any Microsoft product, they're pretty straightforward, easy to use. Have a play, guys. Highly recommend if you haven't done so. All right, apps for polling or survey. We use this a lot during the contest, during the presentation, asking people what their thoughts or something. Obviously, Zoom has its own polling that you can use, that you can notch. A lot of people use this. My only problem with Zoom polling is you have to set it up in web portal. There's no way for the host to set it up inside the meeting. So I wish they, hopefully in the future update, they will do something about it, that the host can do the polling inside the app. You don't need to go to the portal. But at the moment, this is all, you can set it up inside the Zoom web portal. Again, this is why you need to log into your Zoom account. SurveyMonkey, this is quite popular, very popular. They've been around for a very long time. I do remember 10 years ago, SurveyMonkey is already SurveyMonkey. I don't know how old they are, but they're quite popular. They're very popular in the IT industry. So this is also another polling survey that you can set. You can use it for free for a limited number of survey or questions, but you don't have straight away to pay subscription. What's the other one? Google Form. I love this. In our club, we use Google Form for nominating the Toastmaster of the year. I use Google Form for contest, like the winners, first, second, third. Also Google Form for creating questionnaire for the club, like Toastmaster of the year, the contest, the survey, easy. So if I'm pretty sure you guys already have a Google account, then that means you already have a Google Form. Straightforward to set up, start easy. They very small learning curve. So you just have to click around, click new, start typing, easy. Another one that is fun, I would say Slido. I like Slido because it's fun to use it. I think we've seen this a lot in the past in the past of district events, Slido, because it's interactive. You see the actions happening. People type and you can see it right away. Very fun. Anyone use Slido before? Yeah. It's fun. The only thing that I did not research is, do you need to pay or you can have it for free for a limited?
You can do 5. You can do 5 polls for free. But
5
if you want
polls
to go
for free.
over 5,
Then you have to
you
start
have to have
paying.
a license.
Yeah.
But if anyone's doing a big presentation, then don't forget that the district has a license to be able to use Slido. So we can set things up that are a lot more.
We can borrow that. Ah, nice. There you go. All right. So with all those online collaboration, a lot of them is you can use Have a Play, which one suits your requirements. You know, you can start with the easy one, like Google Form or Slido for fun. All right. How about apps for managing tasks? So managing tasks or managing your team. Sometimes if in a professional world, we have lots of things going on, but how you manage them. If you have a big team, managing the tasks within the team also gets complicated. Now we do have a lot of apps for that. That is available. All right, Trello. I admit I haven't really used Trello much, but when I look at it, yeah, you can use it. You can use it, easy to set up, straightforward. They seem to be all similar with all these managing apps. It's assigning tasks to the users, to the team, and then tagging it, what's the status of the task, like that. So Trello, and you can have a nice view like this. Monday.com. This web app, you can have it as a web app, or you can install an app in your phone. This is the one that I use a lot. In fact, I use it every day for my job. So this one, straightforward, you type your task and you assign a status of what you're doing. You can add a comment. You can assign a task to another person. Very easy. On Monday.com, you don't have to pay initially, but of course, if you're doing it in a big team, then you start paying. Oh, Microsoft. I'm pretty sure you guys already have a Microsoft account. For my personal to-do list, managing my own tasks, I use Microsoft. Because it's easy, you can download it in your phone. You can use it to add lists for your grocery, things for the kids, things for Christmas, and you can easily take it. You know, the small dots, if you click that one, and that list will be gone from that, it will move to the archive or something, or completed task. So it gives you that sense of fulfillment that, oh, I finished something. Feel like that. So it's really good. It's very neat, simple, straightforward. And you don't have to pay for a big amount of money. If you're just using it for small tasks, yeah. For day-to-day, highly recommended Microsoft To Do. Have you heard of it? They're not as popular as Monday.com or Trello, but they're getting traction. Has anyone used Microsoft To Do? They used to be, do you know what they used to be? They used to be Wunderlist. And I was a Wunderlist user. And then one day, Microsoft bought it. That's how great they are. So this product, it used to be by someone else, by Wunderlist, and Microsoft bought it because they're really great. Highly recommended, guys. And that's it for me. Does anyone have any questions with all this technology? Have you guys used any, or do you want to add, do you have any additional apps?
I have one additional question. We
Yes,
run
Tim.
hybrid meetings, and the question that comes to mind is we have timing lights in the actual room, and then we have a phone with camera, and actually that goes online. But I was wondering if there is an app that you can use on the phone which simulates the timing light, so to be a bit more professional.
Ah.
Yes? No?
Not that I'm aware of, but what would I do?
There are
Kevin
some
is
apps.
Kevin is saying yes.
Sue's got to,
But before
Yeah.
I give it to you guys, what would I do is I would just display the timer. You know those timer that we normally use with the contact during digital, and face it to the contestant, so that the contestant, the one inside the room, and the online one are seeing the same thing. You know what I mean? That when we have the timer.
I understand
So
it
you
can
don't
be
have
done.
to do two.
I understand it can be done, and we've got a phone, we've got a stand, we put a phone in front of it, so and you get it just right. That's all great, but is there a more professional way of doing it? So I guess I thought, hey, if this was just an app on the phone, we wouldn't have to worry about setting up the camera in front of the timing lights.
I have an app called.
You do?
Yeah, I have an app called, what is it? Timer for TM.
Really?
Yeah, it's just a simple app. It just allows you to set the green, yellow, red. Now it doesn't show up well on the screen, but basically you can set it up as a stopwatch, a speech. It sets, I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
But if you use,
Does it have
but
actually written
that's
on
a
it?
separate though. It's not going to be professionally.
Yeah.
It's not attached. I think what Timothy is after is just one timer for the online and for
Yeah.
your inside the room.
Yeah,
This
exactly.
is what this is what I'm saying. So you have another computer that just shows the timer, and that computer is attached, is also joined to the Zoom meeting, but at the same time, that timer is the one that is the contestant is seeing. So you only have one timer.
Yeah.
I would
And that
suggest
just
As
makes
far
it
as being
easier.
online is concerned, that's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like
No,
you're logging through the
and
phone.
the contestant as well, because if you're facing the computer.
The contestant, you would have a laptop or something with a screen, which is your timing
That's
lights on
facing,
there. That's facing the contestant.
That's
That
the
is
one.
also streamed as like one of our screens here. And when that screen, did the virtual background go to?
Let me just,
screen
I
one?
was gonna check that.
Yeah, just when the screen changes to green, it changes where the contestant can see what's happening.
Yeah. So we would have Michael's computer facing the contestant, but at the same time, Michael's computer is also joined the Zoom. So
Yeah,
everyone was
yeah,
just seeing the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a Toastmasters app on my phone, and it's just called Toastmasters International, and I always use it as a guest. And when you use it as a guest, it has the timing and it counts down on it, and you just set whatever speech you want on the timer, and you select whether it's an evaluation, a table topic speech, and it automatically counts down. So it's really
But
handy.
with a competition, you can't show the countdown.
No.
Yeah, I was going to say that we one stage something was tried, but the issues were that it had that countdown thing, which people didn't really like, and the other thing was people said if we're going to have something, it needs to have it written actually on the actual color background, green, red, yellow, just for clarity. So that's as far as we went. Never got any further.
I've got all those video timer, Tim. I can give it to you guys. I got all of those. The one with the letters, the one with the wordings,
Yeah.
the one with the timer,
Yep.
the one with the countdown, the one without the countdown. It's very handy for, I think, for hybrid, because the only thing is you need an extra computer as a timer computer to display that. So everyone is just referring to it.
Yeah,
I got all of this.
The one that I posted in the chat there, the TM timer at calebgrove.com, that one looks quite easy to use, and also you have the option of showing the clock or not showing the clock, and it will turn green and red and yellow and all the rest of it.
Okay.
That one just works in a browser. Okay, so there's
Yeah.
nothing fancy that you have to install. You would just have to have your
Yeah.
computer as, you know, joined into the meeting. So that's an
shared
option.
screen.
Right. So that's a laptop. Yeah. Yeah.
And,
Okay.
and I'm just putting in the chat box the timers toolkit from Toastmasters International, and
Yep.
it's got all of the different timing options available with links in it.
Thank you, Sue. I'll have a look. I haven't seen this.
Have the videos
If you
been made
search,
available to use as the Zoom background video?
yeah, if you search your store, there are a lot of timer apps available, and a lot of them are configurable, and they are a lot of them. A fair few of them are around Toastmasters.
I just wanted to float that idea and I just sort of see, you know, what are other people using or whatever.
No, that was great. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me know if you want those video timer. I can send it
Yeah,
to
I
you.
might get you to email them anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want a customized timer, I can do that as well.
Sorry.
If you want a customized timer, like if you want a specific requirements, I can
you're
make that as well.
listening. Yeah. I appreciate that. All right. Okay. I think that sounds good. I was interested to see if we could just get it as an app, then we just run it straight off a phone. But okay, that's probably hasn't been quite as easy.
We have lots. Yeah, we have app. Yeah, but it's not going to sync with your computer. It's going to be.
There is an app straight off the phone. It's called a Toastmasters International app. And if you download that, you'll find there's timing within it as well.
Yeah. But the only thing is it's only on your phone though. It won't be, you know, your online audience won't be able to see it unless you do this. But it's not really pretty.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think
Using a browser or something like
browser
that, you can
or
then share or
background.
Yeah.
Background.
In that toolkit I've put in the chat box, there's certainly lots of different timers there.
Yeah. All right. Linda, how about you? Do you have any comments, questions?
So we do what you suggest. We have I've put a little note in the chat. We use a laptop. So we run a hybrid meeting. We're fortunate to have a Candow camera, which views the entire room. It's very nice, but $1,400 worth and a community grant.
Oh, nice.
Very nice. Come and visit us to have a look. And we, in general, use the Zoom timing lights with us. We have a laptop looking at the speaker, which is what Christina's talking about. And if we, in a contest situation, we have a laptop in another room, one for contest, so you end up with 3 laptops going at the same time. Any questions? No. Christina's got it covered, I think. Thank you, Christina.
No worries, Linda. I'm very lucky. I think you guys already know all of this stuff. So no question asked. How about, is there anything else that Kevin already mentioned that was it Asada?
No.
So what is Asada, Kevin?
Asana. It's just another one of those. It's just another one of those task management tools. It was one of the early ones that's still.
Are they still around? Are they still available?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also some crazy creative ones. There's a company out of Cardiff that created task management as clusters of circles and images, and you create dependency by having this visual field and representation. So as tasks happen, they have percentages, you can change colors.
Oh,
and
nice.
The whole visual side of it works for some people. It just depends on how your brain works, really, whether you just want a list or whether you want something a little more graphic.
Yeah. And in that note, that's why Trello, I didn't quite like Trello. It's not for me, but I do like Monday.com and Wonderlist, or the Microsoft To Do now, because I find that just a list, simple, and you tick it off and it just says done.
Yeah, Trello is based on
there's a few things.
Yeah, Trello is based on that whole agile workplace environment where you have a giant wall and each of the cards are like Post-its and you move them through your progression. And that was an IT version of that. But
yeah, we have in our office long time ago, when we still go to the office, people still do that. We use
Yep.
post-it notes to do. These are our to-do list for the day. And then you move things that are in progress. And if you're done with it, you put it in the done. Or if you're stuck, you move it to another column. Was
Yep.
fun doing that. So, and every day we review the to-do list. But now it's all online because we're no longer going to the office.
that's
So we
good.
have to use monday.com.
It's good having a physical wall, but you got to buy the good post-it notes, right? The cheap post-it notes always fall
Coming
off.
The
I know,
genuine
Coming in the morning and all your tasks are done.
Well, you have to remember.
Oh my God.
Or if there's a fan, the post-it notes will be flying away.
Okay, here's one other question. And that is, currently we're running 2 laptops and we run one webcam pointed at the speaker, which works really well, and another webcam pointed at least one side of the audience. And my idea is to get another device looking at the other side until I realized, oh, I looked into it and you can actually run multi-cameras off of one device. Now, I haven't worked out how to do that, but if I could work out how to do that, or if someone else has already done it, then the whole thing of running that laptop as a timer also would probably work.
Yeah. I think I saw it in one of the district website. Someone set that up. I couldn't remember
Yeah,
his name.
pretty cool.
So while you have one laptop, but you
Yep.
have 2 cameras, and you set up the one camera displaying something else in the other one. But that requires a really good really good laptop. My laptop is already struggling. So but if you have a powerful laptop,
Yeah,
I
well,
think
this
that
is
would
a
work.
this one here was the most powerful laptop I could get at the time. So it's pretty
So
good.
that must be really good. Yeah.
It is, and it has no issues with that.
Yeah.
And the other one we've got at the club is also, because they said, well, what do you recommend? And I looked into options, and it's got a pretty quick processor on it as well. But so processor power isn't a problem. And I just thought, wonder if there's an easier way around this rather than having more devices. And I discovered, yes, there is. It'll actually run 3 cameras.
3.
You can run 3 cameras off one laptop. Yes, Linda.
In my understanding, you just need to have the USB access. How you could do that is actually have a little added, it'd be like a multi-power board where you plug in another to a USB port.
Yep, got that.
Multiple USBs. Yeah.
Yeah.
I suspect you already know that, and that allows you then to plug in more say cameras or whatever. But as in Christina says, you need to have a good laptop to be able to do that, because you're spreading the, I suppose, if you
processing power. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, so I've got 2 webcams here, I think, looking at how to do it. I can get them working one at a time, but not both yet. But there is a way of doing it.
There's a way, yeah, definitely there's a way. I've seen someone doing it in the YouTube.
Yeah, well, that's another way of doing it. Yeah, look into it.
Tim,
Okay.
Tim, I've put in the chat
Have a look.
a wiki guide how to link with Bluetooth.
Right. Yep, I see that.
That might help as well.
Okay. Cool. Just looking at ideas. Thank you, everybody. There's always a better way of doing everything. Thanks for that.
That's the instructions in the chat window on how to get them both running at the same time.
I couldn't find the multi-camera mode. That was my challenge.
It probably means that either the hardware isn't supported on your version of that Zoom.
I might have to make sure it's updated.
Yeah.
Remember my tip.
Yeah,
always
I know.
update your Zoom.
That was last night. I checked all this out. I thought, okay, all right.
You know what? If there's one thing that I want you guys to remember, is to update your software in your smartphone and in your computer.
Yeah.
Because with all these security attack and hacks, companies always releasing new software for security patches and updates. in my job, if our servers, if our computers are not up to date, we get in trouble because we're dealing with users' data. So if there's only one thing that I want you guys to remember, always update your phone, your smartphone, and your computer. That will save you a lot of trouble. I think there's no more questions. And I'm 4 minutes. I'm going to give you back 4 minutes. And thank you very much. You've been a terrific audience. And I'll hand it back to you, Graeme.
Okay, thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Well, we've covered quite a bit in this session. That's really good. We're actually on time. I think we're running a bit ahead. A bit ahead. Yes. All right. The next session is going to be about club automation, and I'm going to go through a couple of things, easySPEAK and FreeToastHost, and also a really low-tech option, which is basically a an Excel spreadsheet, or it can be a Google spreadsheet, or whatever you like. Now, I get the feeling that a lot of you people here are pretty experienced with these things already. So how many of your clubs already use FreeToastHost or easySPEAK? Yeah, everyone does. Right. I don't know. I'm kind of wondering about how needed this session is. It is needed? Daryl says it's needed. Okay.
I think there's things that we think we know, but when someone else shows us, you find there are some things that are helpful. So I would still go through it, Graeme.
You can always learn more.
Absolutely. All right. Well, and Linda says, I'm a new VPE, so still learning. Well, VPE, you need all the help you can get.
And Daryl's also a new VPE. He's just taken over from me. So, yeah.
Well, I mean, Daryl just generally needs all the help he can get. So, you know.
Poor Daryl.
That's harsh.
Oh, that was unfair. I'm sorry, Daryl. So I'm VPE in my club as well. And one of the biggest things, relax, O'Reilly is here. That's a good one. Yeah.
That's a new jumper I think I have to get.
I think so.
Sounds good.
So one of the big things that's a challenge with VPE is scheduling your meetings, making sure that people sign up for roles and notifying them about those kind of things. So there are a number of tools that will do this. There's Toastmaster, there's one called Turbo Base, which I don't even know if it's still active, but the two big ones that people know about are easySPEAK and FreeToastHost. So I have some slides to go through. Let me just bring up those slides. And what I'll do is go through, if you're new to this and your club hasn't already registered, how you do that, the setup for the club, creating the agendas, and signing up for roles as well. Now, where do I have these? It is right here. And we'll start with easySPEAK. So easySPEAK has been around. In fact, easySPEAK and FreeToastHost have been around, both of them, for quite a while. So they're not the most up-to-date visually, maybe. They're not the prettiest, but they're still definitely useful to help you with your VPE tasks. All right, so let's look at using easySPEAK. And I guess at the end of this session, we can I can do some live demos on easySPEAK and FreeToastHost if there are any questions about specific things that we want to do in those tools. So first of all, how do you register? So easySPEAK, the first thing you have to do is actually register yourself. I think I've got that in the wrong the wrong thing. So before you do any registration, you actually need to be logged in, which means that you have to go and register a login with easySPEAK. But once you are logged in here, if you've never registered for easySPEAK, this is what you do. You put your club number down here and click on Add Club. Then you get, as long as you're not already registered, you get some registration questions that you have to put in for your club. So things like the abbreviation, whether it's a community club, whether it's open to everybody, etc. Some things about the meeting, like when it actually happens, where it happens, and so on. And there's all sorts of things here. I haven't put everything in. There are things around. You can put something about the map. That's like a Google map representation, a region, just general notes, and so on. And now that I'm clear that, now I have to stop that. And one of the most important things here is this little abbreviation at the front, because that's what gives you the address of your club site in easySPEAK. So in this case, we've got something called M&F Group, and the total thing there, mnfgroup.easyspeak.org, is the web address for that club that'll then be hosted by easySPEAK. So once you've done that, you will receive an email, and your club site will be live immediately. And as I've said, you'll go to the club abbreviation that you just put in. It was M&F Group in the previous slide. And then to figure out how to use your easySPEAK, you can click on this Getting Started thing, and there's a couple of steps that you have to go through. So what does a site look like? So there's lots of panels and lots of text on this one. This is actually the easySPEAK site for my club, Happy Hour Toastmasters. And you can see that we've got over here the meeting details. Over on the right-hand side here, we've got a list of all the meetings that we have for the rest of the year. There's a little thing that says when the next meeting is, and so that's just a convenience thing for people to look at what's coming up with your club. Now, for any of these tools, you have to enter some basic club information, things like when your club meets, where it meets, who are members of your club, all of those kind of things. So entering basic club information for your easySPEAK site, it's not entirely obvious where you have to go. You have to scroll right down to the bottom of the screen and click on this almost invisible link down here, Club Control Panel. And when you do that, what you see is this not at all scary screen that doesn't that fills you with confidence that yes, you're going to be doing the right thing. But let's just assume that we are going to be doing the right thing. That's fine. You put in your username and password, which is the easySPEAK username and password. And then you see this thing, the club administration panel. And you can see over on the left-hand side here, there are a number of things that we can set up. These things here are for importing information about your members and previous speeches that have been happened, because one thing easySPEAK does is it keeps a list of all of the speeches that people have done, the titles of the speeches, when they happened, the type of speech it is, the project that it is, and all sorts of things like that. And then there's the club setup and locations and all sorts of things. I'll just go into those now. So the first thing to look at is the club setup. When you click on club setup, this is what you see. And over on the edit button over on the right-hand side, then you get all sorts of things that you can enter about your club. So general, name of the club and contact details. Then the subdomain, that's about what happens in the URL. So how you get to the club's site. And then there's all sorts of things. You can put a Facebook profile, a Twitter account, etc. That's just general information. Some display information is about how things are displayed on the screen. So date formats, what they look like, privacy preferences, and so on. And then there's all sorts of other options about all sorts of things that you can do with easySPEAK. So a membership survey, for example, that goes out to members when they come on board. Another thing you can add is a list of locations, and you can see that my club has moved around a bit. This is due to COVID, basically. We used to meet at the DHHS rooms, but we've had trouble getting back into those. And right now, I think we're in the multicultural hub where we've had 2 different rooms. The things that you can enter about these are things that you can change about these are whether they are hybrid or physical locations or purely virtual. That's fairly useful. One thing that we do is for special events, we sometimes have these locations entered in. So this one, Lost Angel, that's a restaurant that we went to for one particular thing. Or the Boyd Community Hub, I think that's a one-time thing we went to. And there was something for Boatmasters as well. We had a Boatmasters, might have been that, the Boyd Community Hub, where we went out on a boat. But anyway, you can put lots of different locations in, and that will come in handy when you create the meeting information, because there you select which venue your meeting is going to be at, your location. So that's some of the information that you have to enter in when you have easySPEAK. Now, how do you create an agenda? Okay, so first of all, you have to log in, unsurprisingly. And then down here, you click on the meetings drop down, and then click on create meeting, just here. Stop. And then what you will see is this information that will tell you, that will tell people coming to the meeting where they need to go. So the calendar event, sorry, the date that the event is happening, oops. The starting time, the venue, that's where I was showing the locations before. So I think you can set up one venue as a default, so that will come whenever you create a new meeting. easySPEAK helpfully keeps a list of your meeting number. So each new meeting you create, it increments that. And then theme. Select agenda is interesting too, because you can have different templates for your agenda. And a template essentially defines what things you have. It's the running order of your meeting. So it might be Sergeant at Arms opens the meeting and hands over to the Toastmaster. Toastmaster does a welcome, or the President does a welcome, and then speeches and so on. We'll see what that looks like in just a moment. And once you put all the information in, there's a submit button. I didn't have quite enough space on this screen to show you that, so you scroll down for that. Once you've created the meeting, you get this screen that says, okay, you've done that. You can view your event, add another event, and so on. And then here is what it looks like when you've created the meeting. Now, this one, it is over 2 screens. And you can see that it has taken a template and it has said there are a number of roles that we have for this meeting. So Heartmaster, speakers, and general evaluators, and so on. And part of the magic of a tool like easySPEAK or indeed FreeToastHost is that, oh, actually, in fact, I'm not sure FreeToastHost does this. But anyway, easySPEAK lets you click this magic auto button, and then what that does is it will automatically populate people for the roles based on how often they have performed that role or how frequently they've performed that role, and so on. I personally find that fantastic and a great time saver. You want to encourage your members to be able to go and sign up for those roles rather than say, no, I don't want to do that role. But it does give you an easy way of allocating all those things.
It's a very useful device, that auto.
It is. It's great. Of course, you need to have enough members in the club. Otherwise, you start running a bit dry when you click on the auto. Now, having done that, so you've created the agenda, you've created the meeting, you've created the agenda, and you've assigned people to roles, then how do people sign up for roles? So your club members will also have to be registered for easySPEAK. And this is what it looks like when you've got people assigned to roles. What people can do is they can go to, there's a screen here where you sign up for meetings. Over on the left-hand side, this thing here, where that little hand is, if you click sign up for meetings, that will let people sign up for the different roles beforehand. But usually what happens is once you've got this screen set up, you as VPE, there's a bunch of emails that easySPEAK will send out to say, hey, here's a notification of our meeting that's happening, and I've assigned you this role. And then the email that you receive will let you accept or non-accept that role. You can also have people in your club request a speech. Again, over on the left-hand side, my participation. If you click on this request a speech, then that will take you to this screen here, where you say what workbook and, well, it's not workbook anymore, what path you are doing and which assignment out of that path. So in this case, if I want to do something from the effective coaching path, which is what I'm working on, let's say the reaching consensus, I can click on that, and then that records that I'm going to be doing the reaching consensus project from effective coaching, and then I can put in my preferred dates. So first, second, and third, and then there's a process that goes behind the scenes for the VPE to accept those and schedule those. And then there's a lot of help with easySPEAK, discussion forums, FAQs, and so on. So that's easySPEAK. Questions about easySPEAK? Oh, yeah, Linda.
So easySPEAK automatically sends the emails out. We don't have to do anything or initiate anything. It just does it.
No, you do have to initiate some things. There's a reminder of when you have to send out the emails. I can show you how that works, actually. So
Sorry, everyone else.
don't be sorry. That's fine. Let me bring that up.
We're happy that you're asking, Linda.
Easy
There's
speak.
a half dozen different types of reminder, and the beauty is it doesn't double up on sending out the emails.
That's
So
it.
if you've already sent an email to everyone and people have already assigned, then when you send the reminder, it doesn't resend them the same reminder.
Okay,
So
so
it manages
here's
that in the back.
my club's easySPEAK. If I go to the next meeting, here is some of the stuff. Forget that. Here's some of the stuff that we've set up. We've got people assigned to all of these different things. So I've created the meeting and I've clicked the magic auto button, and then all of these people have been assigned. So the ones here for first speaker and second speaker, they're not automatically assigned, because you want people to be able to schedule their own speeches. You can encourage them, of course, but you can see we don't have the third speaker assigned because we don't always. Anyway, 10 assignment emails pending. So send third email. What that means is if we click on that, there are a range of different emails that get sent. And they're called first email, second email, third email, and each of them have different purposes. So the first email is just, hey, don't forget about our meeting. Our meeting's happening on this time and date, and why don't you sign in and sign yourself up for something? The second and third and fourth emails, the second email is, it's basically, I have or I haven't assigned you a role. And then the third email is, I have assigned you a role. Would you confirm that you can do that for me? I usually just go down to the third email. I don't use the fourth and fifth emails. I don't know if other people use them. But there are a number of emails that you get sent, and it's just basically clicking the button. It's not automatic, but it's not hard either. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question? All right, great. I'll move on to FreeToastHost, and the presentation for this is intentionally fairly similar, hopefully covering some of the same things. So FreeToastHost. As we saw before, there is a process of registration with FreeToastHost if your club does not already have FreeToastHost. For this one, you have to enter some information about your club, the district, and the club number, the important things. Once you enter those, you get something like this, where it checks your club number and says, oh, okay, that's actually a real club. Is this the club that you're actually looking for? Yes, it's correct. And then you put in email addresses and so on. Again, once you've done that, just like with easySPEAK, you'll receive an email. And once you've been sort of approved, then your club will have a website, which is based on the NNNNN thing. There is your club number. Well, I can never remember my club number. Who knows their club number off by heart?
Yes, 3717.
Wow. Okay, 3717. Man,
3717, yep.
that must be like, you guys must be like 40 years old or something as a club.
43.
Oh, geez, I was joking. Oh, man, I can never remember mine.
44 this year, to be corrected, November. Yeah.
Man, that's amazing. Well done, you. Oh, 1568. Boy, okay. So, yeah, 1568 Toastmasters clubs, etc. This is what it looks like. It's perhaps a little more attractive. And yes, we are signed up for, our club is signed up for both FreeToastHost and easySPEAK, but we tend to use easySPEAK. So you will get a club site that looks like this. And just as with easySPEAK, we will have to put in some basic club information before we can use the site to schedule our meetings and so on. So there are two logins types that you have down here. You can log in as a member and log in as a site administrator. And what we're doing here is logging in as the site administrator. So once you do that, you get this rather strange panel. Like in easySPEAK, there are various things that you have to enter, the name of your club, some kind of description, and so on. There are all sorts of things that you can enter, weird things like floater messages. I'm not even sure what floater messages are.
Floater messages is a message pops up, and there's one for members and there's one for non-members, and you can put in, you know, next meeting, such and such a date, for example.
It keeps coming down across the screen, so no matter where you move, it keeps moving with you.
Okay.
Annoying.
Yeah, I turn it off. I
You
don't
can
know.
actually turn it off.
Okay, so yeah, meeting info about, there's all sorts of things that you can enter. There's a minimum stuff that you have to enter, but there's lots of things you can do to configure this. Down here, club time zone, etc. And then there are also other things, membership management, file manager, meeting agenda settings, and all sorts of things. So let's look at how you would create an agenda in FreeToastHost. Again, you have to log in, this time as a club member, not as the site admin. And over on the left-hand side here, you can create meeting agendas, and there's a quick role sign-up thing as well. I think it's meeting agendas you want to click on. And once you do that, you can use this to add a new agenda with the plus button on the right-hand side, not entirely obvious. But when you do that, you get some information about the meeting that you have to put in, the date of the meeting. Again, you've got the idea of templates, same kind of idea as with easySPEAK. And again, the venue, same kind of idea. Once you've created, you can put in all sorts of stuff. Once you've done that, then you get the agenda items in a screen like this. And if you scroll down, you'll get more items. And for the attendance here, you can say who's going to attend and who's not going to attend. There's a similar thing in easySPEAK. And when you want people to sign up for roles, they log in and they can use this handy feature over on the left-hand side called the quick role sign up. So when you click on that, you select a meeting, you say whether you're attending or not, and then you can select a role in the meeting. And so there, I don't know who that guy is. Who's that bald idiot? Good heavens. This speaker here is doing, yeah, it is. This speaker here is doing some kind of manual process, some kind of manual path assignment. And you choose your path and assignment. Just like with easySPEAK, it tells you about the assignments that are available in your path. You choose the right one, fill in your project description, and there's an evaluation form that you can get out there as well. And for help, again, you've got a lot of help with FreeToastHost. There's all this kind of information online, and there is a forum as well. So that was a bit of a quick run through. Any questions about FreeToastHost?
They're almost the same. Which one was first?
I suspect although I don't know that easySPEAK was first. I think FreeToastHost, you can see it says there FreeToastHost 3. So FreeToastHost has been through a few iterations, which is probably why it looks a little more modern than easySPEAK. But I think easySPEAK came first. Did anybody know different?
They were designed from different perspectives. So FreeToastHost started with content management and being a site for clubs to be able to advertise what they are.
Yep.
Whereas easySPEAK started as a spreadsheet type environment for just handling meetings.
Yes.
And then they've both grown to merge in the middle, where they now both do things. They both do the same things. But quite clearly, the content management component is a lot better in FreeToastHost in terms of it being user friendlier. And I personally find the tools that sit behind easySPEAK to be a little easier to use because I'm a bit geeky. But they're both blending. They're both blending in terms of what they are, and ultimately, TI with their apps and their way forward will eventually turn around and say, well, this is our app and this is what you should be using, because the consolidation of your work and your effort and everything that's recorded about what you do will then be ultimately in one place. But how long it's going to take them to do that? Absolutely no idea.
That's one thing that easySPEAK does, is that it actually keeps track of everything, like, you know, the speech, when it happened. Very good, which the other doesn't.
I have a district function inside easySPEAK as well. So I'm a global admin for easySPEAK now because of my role, which means I get to see all the reporting. So every member that is turning around and entering information is feeding into the stats that are internally embedded within easySPEAK as well.
Ah, so you're one of them. Can we ask you some improvement then?
Absolutely.
Now I know.
Ask and receive.
Okay. There's I have quite a few because I use easySPEAK extensively to manage our club. So yeah, love it.
So just one more thing before we finish off. There, you can of course always go to a more low-tech. I mean, a low-tech option probably is going to be a piece of paper, right? But you can just manage things with a spreadsheet. And all you need to do really is keep some of the information about the meeting and the roles and stuff down the left-hand side, and then map out your meetings. I happen to have these scheduled into quarterly things down here in the spreadsheet, and you can just manage it manually yourself. Of course, this doesn't give you all the stuff about automatically assigning people. It doesn't quite keep records in the same way, and you will have to either get people to fill this in during a meeting or manually email people as well. This is a very basic spreadsheet. Kevin, I think you've got something that's pretty sophisticated as a spreadsheet to manage things.
Yeah, I again confess to ultimate geekiness and loving Excel spreadsheets. I've got a version which enables you to do multi-club. It records the people that have been part of the club executive. It generates different types of agendas, and it does the whole. This is when you're doing the selection of who does what. It even tells you when they last did what they did. So I stole the functionality out of easySPEAK and built it into some drop-down data controls and things like that. But you need to be. It's not something that someone who isn't very familiar with Excel will be able to use. So it's not it's not built to be user friendly. You've got to be a bit of an Excel user to be able to take advantage.
Yep, sounds like many nights of hard and enjoyable work.
Years. It evolved over years and became an absolute monster. It's phenomenal.
Okay, so shall we go back to Christine's question? She had a question of you, Kevin.
Christina, what?
Christina?
I don't have a question.
You
More
don't?
of like a request to Kev. I got, you know, a few of my list that I want to see in easySPEAK. It will come to. But I don't have it yet at the moment. I'm not in the space.
No, but
But
both
expect an email.
yeah, but both FreeToastHost and easySPEAK, they're always looking to hear about the improvements, but they're both driven by volunteers.
Yeah.
So you know, you've got a large community,
How to apply?
Hmm?
How to apply to be one of the people behind it?
Yep. And they're always looking for people to be able to help grow the product.
You know what they say, either you're part of the problem or you're part of the solution, and I want to be part of that.
I like it.
So yeah, okay, I'll reach out, Kev.
Do we know how actively they are being developed?
Most of it's reactive at the moment. So
Reactive,
both the development teams from both of those products are speaking regularly with TI.
Okay.
I know that from both of the leads, and they're always being told what's coming, which is why both systems were able to update so quickly. For example, with pathways.
Pathways, yeah.
But the reporting that goes on in terms of acknowledging the systems, they're both dumps of information that go back into both systems by those people in TI that provide the information. So it really is just a matter of when people have time to be able to dedicate to make improvements, but neither have been through any major improvements in the last few years.
No.
The one thing about FreeToastHost is it does link to the to a website. So when you go to find a club, you can see the website of the club if you're on FreeToastHost. So it does do that linking. I don't know. It's a pity easySPEAK, they don't allow that for easySPEAK as well. They should.
In terms of being able to see, so easySPEAK lets you jump straight to all of the club reports.
No, if I went to find a club and I clicked on any club, and if they were on FreeToastHost, it takes me to their website. But if I'm on, if my club isn't on FreeToastHost, it won't take me directly to the club website. So
Sale takes you straight to the easySPEAK.
From Find a Club?
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, that's good.
Because the Find a Club is based on your embedded URL.
Yeah.
In the narrative. So if you've included, and most people that use easySPEAK create a custom name in their URL, and then that lets you through it. I actually find the debate is really whatever your exec is at the time you're picking a tool, whatever they can use most easy is what tends to be the one that happens and ends up being picked. And there's no merit to one in particular over the other. If you've got people that are able to use the tool, that's where the difference is. And then recognizing that who's going to come after you needs to be able to understand it. And I've had clubs that have flipped between easySPEAK and FreeToast, and then they do that for 2 or 3 years, and then the exec comes on and says, "Oh, I can't do that. I want this." The VPE wants that one, and they switch again, which is the worst thing to do. You're actually better off once your club is committed to one of those products. That's the one that you should really stay with, so you have the history. Just
following up on that thing that we said about where what shows up on Find a Club. I think it's this. It's whatever you put in here. So this is the club contact and meeting info in the TMI site for my club.
So if
we happen to have put in the FreeToastHost one.
Yeah.
But we could put in the easySPEAK one, or in fact a separate thing if you want to go to a custom site.
So if is there any club that's directly only on easySPEAK that we could do through Find a Club?
Yeah, if you do a Find a Club for sale, we only use easySPEAK.
All right, let's do that. Find it.
Yeah.
Where is it? Find a Club.
Yeah. Type in sale.
Sale. No, sale. And visit this website.
Perfect.
Sale, easySPEAK. Yep.
Great.
I don't know if you can see that. Yep.
It'll be
There we
very
go.
embarrassing. This is
No.
Perfect.
Oh, good.
But FreeToastHost offers you more of a non-user experience. So if you're going to FreeToastHost and you're not already a member or you're not part of that club, then there's a whole host of content management, which is a lot easier to present for new people that are visiting. Whereas easySPEAK content is very embedded within the fact that you're a user of the system.
Yeah, we've got both. It was presented to me. You've got FreeToastHost as the website manager, if you like, and then you've got easySPEAK for the agendas.
Right.
Which does work.
Yeah.
Which I think you'll find with older clubs that were established that were using easySPEAK but didn't like the content management but wanted an easier way of doing it.
I like the fact it keeps track of it. I honestly like the fact it keeps track of it, and I realise the other doesn't. So easySPEAK's got it for, it's definitely got its value to do that.
Yeah, I've got 11 years of history in easySPEAK.
Sorry?
I've got 11 years of history in easySPEAK.
11 years
every
of history.
speaker I've ever
Yeah, I
delivered.
can believe it. Heaps of history.
Yeah.
It's definitely plus. So why not use both? Use both if you want.
Definitely.
All righty, folks. Well, that's the end of my section. And our next section, Sue, talking about hybrid meetings.
Terrific. Well, I'm going to throw a whole heap of links in the chat box. Now, it doesn't matter if I've just copied and pasted them straight out of my presentation. So when I hit enter, hopefully you'll get them all. But yeah, if you don't, they'll be in the presentation as well, and that will be downloaded afterwards. So there you go. Whoa. Just copy and paste that into a Word doc if you want, and then divide it up. So I didn't know how it was going to look, but it does look like a blur. So yeah, watch out for that.
Until you go control paste, and then it all separates itself off into different lines. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. So let me share a presentation for you to help you with meetings. So at the start of every training session, this sort of pro forma should be shared in regard to remote training as well. So that's something that I'm not sure if we put up at the very start of the meeting. But here we go for hybrid hints and tips. So the common issue is I can't hear you, you're on mute, there's no sound, I can't see the timer, I can't see people in the room. And all of those sort of common issues can be managed if you just think about it beforehand. Try and incorporate any of those hybrid anomalies by making sure that you think of the person that's on the screen as a separate additional person. And if there are multiple on the screen, then they need to be shown somewhere. Now, if you're going to run them like two separate meetings, you will never have a conducive, a comfortable forum. But if you try and run it like that you're encompassing everyone and making sure everyone can hear what's going on, that is far better way to do it. But try not to keep them as two separate meetings. Now, sometimes they can feel like two separate meetings because of the technology you use. If you're using the free technology, such as Google Meet, you get locked out. I think it's every hour that you have to change meeting numbers. If you're using a free version of Zoom, you might also get locked out. So thinking about your technology that you're going to use can often help you to improve that separate meeting ideal. And if you can keep the separating of the meetings, the technology hiccups behind the scenes a bit more, and use it as a learning experience if it becomes really obvious for the room, but try and keep that behind the scenes technology going behind the scenes so that it just feels like an even, smooth meeting. That's the best way to do it. Try and keep everyone involved, because sometimes I've noticed when we've run workshops are very noisy, and they're so much more different than running an actual club meeting. A club meeting, everyone's normally quiet in the room, and then one person speaks and everyone has respect for that person speaking, and it's generally pretty quiet with a little bit of heckling every now and then, potentially from your room, but most of it is quiet. But if you take a hybrid meeting to a workshop, you're wanting that interaction and involvement, so you need to be very careful how you're going to run it so that everyone feels included. And you certainly need more manpower, but that's only if you start encompassing so many devices that you need someone to man it and support it, and just, yeah, you just need more people if you're going to do that. But the idea is to keep it really, really simple. So my best hints and tips are to keep it as simple as possible, and that could be a mobile phone on the lectern, and that's your speaker, and it can also be your camera. Now, I've been in one club, and no matter what we do, we had hiccup upon hiccup upon hiccup with just getting that sound right. There was feedback, there were all sorts of things that were going on. The phone kept going flat, because whenever you use a phone, you need to make sure it's completely charged. About that.
I had one of those perfect storms once with the technology, and we were doing a hybrid meeting, and the power went off in the whole block.
Oh,
And within 5 minutes, everyone had their phones out. We'd reconnected to the internet. We had our lights shining on the phones and the microphones and everything back up, and we were running off a laptop that was on battery. So you can never predict what's going to happen. You just need the stuff behind the scenes ready to go.
Yeah. So there are certainly things that you can do to counteract like doing a risk assessment of what could happen in the room. But the main thing I've found is, if you're going to keep it simple, the sound is the most important thing. And if you can't hear, it's really pointless. It's just, it really deflects from the meeting. Sorry, I'm a bit not well. So I'll just cough and splutter in between.
Good demonstration of controlling sound, Sue.
Yes.
And when people are coughing, you mustn't make them laugh. It just doesn't work. It just makes it worse.
Yes, definitely. So you need to have a strong internet connection and not a metered connection. So if you've got a phone that says it's on metered, somehow it seems to stop. I don't know what it does, but it doesn't flow through with a clear connection that keeps going. My phone, when I updated it, has now it says it's metered, and I don't know how to take it off, and I need to probably go to a shop and sort that out. But if you have a clear flowing internet connection that's strong, then you'll have no problem at all. You really don't want something stopping and starting. So try and make sure you're using the venue's internet, or if multiple people are using it, try and make sure you've got someone who has a strong, clear connection. So multiple people having devices and knowledge. So what I'm meaning here is don't just leave it for one person in the room to understand how it works and you leave it to them, because when they have their day off or when they aren't able to make a meeting, it really falls in a hole and then you can't seem to function. So try and share the knowledge and make sure you practice and make sure everyone's having a go at it. And Christina said earlier on, just pick up different devices and practice connecting with your kids or anyone else so that you can utilize the devices that you have, because hybrid is here to stay at the moment and it's on offer for contests, and we want to be running smoothly for both within and without the room when we do have these contests and other functions coming up. So we want to be able to offer to everyone and cater for everyone. And if you can't do that, then that's a skill set you need to potentially bring into the club by having some guests pop in and help you, or coming into these drop-in sessions where we can utilize those hints and tips on how to do things, as we've done today as well. And we've already picked up lots of hints in that first hour. So you don't need a lot of manpower, but you do if you're wanting it to run really smoothly. If you have different people allocated to different roles, such as the Zoom master, someone who's going to handle the person that can't connect or can't do something. So if you're having a bigger function than just a normal club meeting, make sure you assign someone who's going to manage those people, manage those additional issues that always come with a mixed meeting. When we have a district meeting, we have multiple people who have access as a co-host to be able to mute people, to be able to manage whatever is going on in the room. So try and think of them as your sergeant at arms. You need a sergeant at arms in the room and you need one online as well. So if the Zoom master can manage both, then that's fabulous. But if they can't, if they're just handling all of the people coming into the room, then you need to try and make sure you have someone who's going to handle those questions and that technology issue. So there's always going to be issues with microphones, mobile phones, attaching to power, laptops, tablets, and needing a phone jack. If you can't plug that simple speaker, you're going to get a lot of feedback in the room and a lot of squealing if there are multiple devices. So try and have a headphone or a phone jack, as some people call that, just to plug in to help support that feedback issue that goes on. If you're just utilizing a mobile phone, just use it up at the lectern and make people come up. And as I heard earlier on this evening, you can certainly make people have multiple devices, a mobile phone at the front, and then another phone that you can pass around. Kevin was talking about that phone as potentially almost like a handheld mic that you are passing around, and that allows others to have that control and ability to connect. So hybrid doesn't actually have to be really daunting, but it does take a little bit of practice and a little bit of patience to deal with things. So one way you can deal with that is to visit some online clubs as well. Some online clubs have been doing it online for years and they're really comfortable with that technology. And if you're really comfortable in person and you visit online clubs, you can see how they're managing the technology of meeting online all the time. And I know a lot of clubs in Melbourne have met online for ages, but Adelaide and Tasmania have been meeting in person for most of the pandemic. So we have continued on. So we don't have that skill set that you've gained from being online for so much longer. But even though you've been online, there's still that practice model of practicing of being hybrid, half and half. So many clubs in Find a Club offer online attendance, and that's accepted. So you're looking for that in a normal club so that you can also attend as well. So that would all be a online attendance accepted, be a hybrid club, or the list above in the top line would be an online only club. So there, does everyone know about the online clubs? Did you know there was a resource on Toastmasters International where you could just see all of the online clubs? You did? That's great. So yeah, make use of those and go visit some things, some places all around the world and see what's on offer, because where it says O for online attendance accepted, you know that they are going to be hybrid. So that is really worthwhile looking into as well. So if you train multiple people, you'll retain the skills, and make sure you share the load and understanding of the technology in use, and take time to learn it either within a meeting and that's me. Either take time to learn it within the meeting and make it an exercise that you can all embrace and engage with, or externally play and then come back. If you externally play, you have far more time to practice the questions of doing things in a hybrid way. And if it's not working, just try something else, or someone else, like someone who is not managing it in the club under the system you're using, as we've spoken of earlier on with FreeToastHost or easySPEAK. Just swap, change, do what you need to do to make everyone feel comfortable with what you're offering within your clubs. So just take time to look at all the options on offer and certainly explore them as well. Now, I've got a heap of resources at the end of this, and these resources are all to do with club meetings, hybrid meetings, and additionally, there are some YouTube articles on how hybrid meetings work with lots of hints and tips in them as well. So we spoke earlier on about timing in hybrid meetings, and I've just added that link in there as well. And if you just do a Google search of Toastmasters International, there are so many other options. So the last link is that link as well. So just letting you know, there are many, many options for hybrid meetings. There are many resources on offer from Toastmasters International, and it's a good idea if you just take that time to explore and have a play, you'll certainly improve your ability to deal with hybrid meetings, because they are the norm. Any questions?
Actually, the thing that you closed with there, they are the norm. Is that Toastmasters TM International? Is that their? Is that what they say? What am I trying to say?
That came out of my mouth. They are the norm, as in they're starting to promote and enhance that mixed experience now, and they are encouraging that for the contests. So Kevin will come back with information about that, whether Toastmasters International will be enforcing a hybrid option or not after this convention. So Kevin, do you know any more about that?
No, other than they're encouraging online council meetings, online as opposed to hybrid, just because of the ease of operation and things like that. But everyone's talking about hybrid and the hybrid opportunity, not in the context that you have to provide it, but the fact that it is, it's as much a skill as anything else that people have. There is a recognition that there will always be purely those clubs that want to do face-to-face. There will always be purely those clubs that want to be online. but the opportunity is around hybridization. There's lots and lots of talk around the need to grow membership and to grow clubs. Every other conversation is around remembering the main thing, and the main thing is that we're here to grow clubs, to be able to ensure that they can deliver a quality experience, and through that grow. And don't forget, grow clubs. It's pretty much being rammed down our throats.
And if that's through an online presence, such as, you're online, you've got Facebook and everything, you're putting things, and we get people who have contacted us who become members, which is exciting. It's not surprising some of those people will do attend online.
Now, if you stop,
Sorry, Christina.
I think she was telling a child off.
That
Oh,
might have been,
okay.
sorry, guys.
that
Sorry.
might have been a little bit of discipline, yes.
Yes. So yeah, there are certainly lots of ways you can utilize hybrid, and if you are utilizing it to gain members and you start poking your head in all around the world, you can certainly bring people back that are already Toastmasters that would love to come to Australia, and it's their opportunity of visiting Australia as well. I know the other day Kevin popped into Leadership SA meeting and he had some people that were popping in to see him, so he brought them over to see us, and we had 6 different clubs supported, and someone from London, someone from, where was this other man from?
It's amazing.
I'm not sure where he was actually dining in from, but he was in one of the Asian countries.
Yeah.
The diversity you get is just amazing. The people you can attract.
So
the issue becomes, though, what does that mean for members? So as a member who maybe has a physical club and who joins a couple of online clubs, does that mean we really have to pay our dues 7 times? And whether or not there's going to be any recognition of multi-club membership, whether there's going to be tiered levels of membership. They announced during the welcome that there will be no fee increase this year, but they're changing the rules so that it's not going to be every 3 years it gets reviewed. It's going to be every single renews period it's going to be reviewed. See you, Darryl.
Yeah.
So what that means is, we're giving you a bit of compensation now, but we're going to change the constitution so that we can up the charge every year.
Yeah, well, it's a service, isn't it? Yeah.
Are there any questions in regard to hybrid meetings that we haven't already discussed this evening?
Don't think so.
I did note, Sue, and it impacted my thoughts, that your comment about passing on the information. And I notice at Essendon we've got a group of people who are the knowledgeable ones, and that is true. If we don't turn up, or if we're unwell or something and can't make it to a meeting, then we need to actually pass that information on. So thank you for that comment. It's important.
Yeah, I think it's important in sharing and rotating your roles. And I think it's really good that the president role is the one role that can't stay for, as in all of the executive roles. I think it's good that you can rotate that leader at the top, because otherwise you can get things staying in the same way. And it's wonderful to be able to offer other people opportunities to grow in all the different roles that are in the club. And yeah, and I think it's good that it is only for a year and we can share the load and try and support each other. Even if you know it really, really well, try and hand it to someone else to stand behind them and just support them as well to move forward. Yeah.
One thing I discovered is, because I've been a VP of our club for how many years, and it's quite really exhausting. Now, this year I stepped back, so I moved to a new role, which is a secretary, I still able to help the VPE, the president, and the club officer as a whole. And at the same time, someone else is learning that job as well. So, not sticking to that same role every year. It's actually healthy for yourself, for the club, for the just everyone, and you're passing the knowledge. So highly recommend it. Don't try to fall in the trap that you stay in one role every year after year.
Yeah.
And some clubs manage that through having shadow execs. So you, at any one time, there's 2 or 3 people that are actually helping with that role. One of the clubs that I visit regularly, they have 3 VPEs. Only one person gets credit as far as Toastmasters is concerned, but that's not why they do it. They do it because they need that number of people to help manage the speeches and bits and pieces, and there's always the ability to step in whenever something's not going right.
That's a cool idea. I never heard of that. That's good.
And easySPEAK lets you add them as roles so that they can have equivalent rights.
Yeah,
Oh,
so you're not
that's
true.
you
good.
don't have to mess around. Yeah,
That's really good because that's not on offer in FreeToastHost at all.
no, it's part of what's hidden in the control panel behind easySPEAK.
Okay.
Are you sure you can't in FreeToast?
I don't know. Do you know, Graeme?
Not off the top of my head. I could probably go and find out. I suspect that you could, but I don't know for sure. Yeah.
It's the ability to create additional executive roles. So you could create a webmaster or a technology support or whatever, and then you configure their profile. That's how it works in easySPEAK.
Yeah, you can do that. You can do that in easySPEAK. Yeah, like I created the Zoom master because I thought, well, it needs to be a role created. So I created a role. Someone's taken it over and it's got it.
No, and it's good to have that flexibility. You just got to be careful that you don't at the end of the year do a reset privileges. When you put the new exec in, you put the new exec in, and if you turn around and say reset to the default permissions, it automatically restricts access again. So the treasurer can't do VPE scheduling, for example, if you set that up originally, so that all of the exec could do all of the functions.
Very
So
useful.
in those links that I've sent and I've put it in the presentation, I've flicked that through to you, Graeme. Those links have some incredible resources in regard to hybrid meetings. So have a look if you get a chance just to flick through even a few of them, and you'll find that they'll really help you with understanding or developing your skills if you're going to go down that road and give it a go as well. I'll hand back to you, Graeme.
Okay, thank you very much, Sue. Well, that's pretty much the end of our session. We've still got 15 minutes if you really want to hang around. I recommend that Sue goes and lies down with a cup of hot honey and lemon, something like that.
Yeah, I'm sick of coughing.
I put some things in the session about where you can find, in the chat, where you can find materials from tonight's session. And I think for all 3 of you that might want to do this, a feedback for how the session went this evening. Really appreciate you making the time, folks. Hope that you've found this useful. And I hope everyone has a good weekend. Kevin probably should take off too and maybe get some sleep before tomorrow's bully.
No, I have to catch up with my daughter now. So she's stayed up.
Oh, okay.
We have our daily chat. So I'm going to run away and have a chat to her before she gets to bed.
All right, folks.
Right.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
See
Thanks
you
very
later.
much.
Thank you, everyone. Get well soon, Sue.
Thank
See you,
you.
Christina.
Bye, guys.
Yes,
Nice to
Sue.
see you all.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. And